Hello, hello, bonjour, salam alaikum, everyone, and welcome on this special episode of Stand Up from the Crowd. The month of March is dedicated to women's rights. It's Women's Month, and today the conversation will be about women in business, a man's point of view. And this conversation with the great gentlemen here that you see with us today, our stand-up guests are amazing leaders. Those people are some of the greatest leaders in Canada. And so sometimes we are having, the conversation, the tough conversation that need to take place. And this conversation today is taking place also in collaboration with Immigrant Women in Business, IWB, which I'm a founding member of, which will be celebrating International Women's Day in Toronto on March 8th. So if you are in town, close by, just scan the QR code so you have access to the page. You can learn more about the organization, how you can take part, how you can support the organization, and simply, join and connect with like-minded people. So to start this conversation, I would like to welcome Svetlana, who is the mastermind behind this organization. Svetlana, thank you for being with us today. So you have been my mentor for a couple of years now. Can you tell us a little bit more about IWB, the objective, and why, March month is so important for us?
It's exciting time for women today. This year, we have women growing, building, strengthening our economy. It's time to celebrate. In the last 15 years, I came from the country with where human rights are lacking, so I could see the impact that myself as an immigrant I can make living in this country versus in other countries. That's why, for me personally, this time to celebrate and be hopefully an example for many other women to step up to their leadership and grab that miracle freedom gift that this beautiful Canada gives to all of us.
Thank you so much, Svetlana. And we have here like those great gentlemen. Some of them are my brothers. We have Stephen here, Michael, Peter, and Fikayo. So thank you, all of you, for joining us today, and to share your perspective, on the role of women in our society, the place of women in our society. Our society has evolved and keeps evolving, and sometimes, I think like people still need to polarize the relationship between men and women, and the place that men and women should occupy within our society. And let me give you a concrete example here. And of course, for those of you watching the live and the replay or listening to the podcast, share your thought also and your comment with us. Okay, so let me read to you the comment I received right this morning on my YouTube channel. So I shared a video about basically one of the greatest female anchor in Canada who was laid off, fired disgracefully, right? So I shared my opinion about it. And a gentleman said, "Kitchen time, babe, take care of kids, let your men handle the finances, and congratulations for being used as long as you benefited the organization and didn't spend time with your man and kids and manage the household as you should have." That's straight to the point. Listen, I respect his opinion. We are like diverse people with diverse opinion, but I think it's really it gives a vitrine. It's very, very relevant to what a lot of men still believe, and women too, because it does not only come from men, right? Women also may feel the same. So I want to know, and we can start with you, Stephen. What do you think about this polarization that still persists within our society, where men should do this and women should do this, and that's the way it should be, and like women shouldn't like be working or become leaders or be entrepreneurs. They just should stay at home, cook, bake for their family, and take care of the kids. How do you see this narrative?
So I mean, the good news is that this whole shift is starting to take hold and come. There's women. You're seeing more women now in leadership roles in corporations and doing well. I think you're always going to have the comments like that. I believe they're just uneducated, silly remarks. I think that the one of the problems that this whole women's right had come is it became too confrontational, and it was us against them type of thing. And once we started realizing that the way to really, empower women is through working together with men, and making sure that it's not us against them. And men are taking that position now as well. Personally, I think that in some of my companies, our leaders, are the heads of our companies are women, and because I'm in a field of social impact and emotional, kind of, they're far greater at men than doing what I do. So we welcome them, and they're certainly doing a great job. So I just think it's a again time issue. It's like it's like race or anything else. It takes time, but it also takes the right strategies to do it. And I think for years we've been doing it the wrong way and trying to be more confrontational, which really only promotes men who are for women and everything. Kind of gets them a little bit defensive, and maybe not doing the things that they should. But I think that's starting to change now. I'm actually very optimistic about that. And
Mhm.
let's face it, I think everybody would agree, men and women are equal, and we need to be treated that way, certainly in the business world.
Yeah, thank you. And you mentioned something very important, actually, like the fact that the women's movement has been perceived, or maybe has been itself, more and more aggressive, focusing on a narrative of men versus women, when actually the women's rights movement, if you look at the roots, it's about, being able to have and to enjoy equal rights. So, Michael, what do you think about, this women's rights movement that might be too aggressive towards men?
Bonjour, Darine. Thank you so much for having me here. So, I think that when it comes down to this movement, it always, for me, the key word is respect. And when we're looking at and we're talking about women, a good leader is a good leader. So whether you're a man or a woman, everybody wants to follow a good leader. And so if it is an aggressive approach and you're actually starting to now create division between a man and woman, then I'm not necessarily for that, right? If we're going to actually talk about equality, then we actually have to demonstrate what equality looks like and celebrate a good leader when we see one. So if there's a woman that comes to the table and she has the qualifications to be a good leader, then we need to throw her flowers. If there's a man at the same time that's doing the same thing, we also have to recognize these men. So I really believe that with this movement, it just comes back down to respect and seeing potential when we see it.
That's very true. Respect. Respect should be at the heart of everything that we do. Either you man, woman, in between, no matter what you identify yourself with, anyway, respect should be the base of everything. Fikayo, you have been speaking to audiences, right? Big audiences. How do you see the narrative based on your own experience and the feedback that you receive, the interaction that you have with your community, because you have a big, beautiful community? How do you see those relationships, those interactions between men and women, and how do you believe we could improve them?
Fantastic. So thank you first off for having me as a part of this podcast. I really, really appreciate it. And just hearing that comment on your YouTube channel, first off, I honestly was like, why would someone even make a comment like this, to be honest? Because statistically, it actually makes no sense. So women bring a unique perspective to the table that can help companies actually innovate and stay competitive. If so, from a business point of view, first off, right, like it actually, research shows that companies with more women in leadership positions tend to be more profitable and successful. So when someone makes a comment like that, I'm like, if they're making that comment based on their emotions, statistically, it shows that women in leadership positions in companies makes a company more successful. So I definitely don't agree that women should stay in the kitchen or they should only take care of kids, right? That doesn't even make any sense. And studies also show that women tend to be more collaborative and inclusive in their decision making, right? Which leads to better outcomes in business. So when I'm speaking to audiences and even our project Impacting Lives, we have 11 board members. There are only 3 men on the board, and I'm one of them, right?
Okay.
And we have 8 women on the board as well, because I know that this is just better for business in general. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm definitely all for women empowerment, but a lot of people don't know from a women perspective and from a general lens perspective as well, is that women make a significant portion of the consumer market. So if you're making anything or if you're doing anything in business, they're actually in charge of the consumer market. And I used to sell, credit cards before, and a lot of times women are the primary decision makers in making any decision, right? A guy would always go to his woman and just go like, "What do you think? Should I get this? What do you think? Should I?" And if his girl says no, you shouldn't get this, then that's that you don't get you, they don't get it. Do you get what I'm saying? And I'm sure I see a lot of guys nodding their heads here. Stephen, I'm seeing you, right? So that's what I'm saying of. And a lot of times I would also even be trying to sell to the woman, because I'm like, if she says yes, then the guy is most likely gonna get it. So that's why I'm like, from a general lens perspective, that person that made that comment isn't just speaking with knowledge. That person is just speaking on, maybe I don't even know why anybody would make such a comment. But a way to improve, right, is, to be honest, what we're doing now. So my not-for-profit, I'm making sure that a lot of leadership positions at my not-for-profit are filled up by women, right? Because I see like the diverse perspective they're bringing to the table and how that can actually bring success as well. And just like Steven said, man and woman were equal. So why can't they get the leadership positions as well? Right. So I feel like a way to bring about change also is by every single man standing up and deciding to take action as well. So that's how I feel a change can happen.
And we're in this world together, no matter what. So we have 2 options. It can be quite simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. Either we work together, to change the world and to make the world a better place, or we use the same time and energy trying to tear each other down. And finally we are like not making progress as a society. So that's very true what you're saying. And thank you for bringing your perspective to the conversation, Fikayo. Peter, can you share with us your perspective about getting more women into leadership roles, or seeing more women evolving in the tech space and in the cryptocurrency space as well?
Yeah, so I think we'll go through a major transition very soon, because the way technology is rapidly advancing between AI, crypto, Web3, and all these things escalating at the same time, actually understanding human emotion and human beings' needs is going to be the most important thing, because getting tasks done, like it started with like us having men were like stronger in the farm, so we could like hunt better, we could farm better because we're stronger. But that is so out the window now with technology. It's all about what do human beings need. And with all the technology being so male dominant the last few decades, now we're finally entering where it doesn't matter if you're a man, woman, transsexual, something in between with all this going on in the world, doesn't matter. You could get results based on a technology giving you what you ask for. Now, the important part is understanding human beings. And I know you say we're equal, but I say women create life. All females, every animal on this planet that creates life, yeah, males help, but it comes out of a female. So life comes out of femininity. And right now, we're moving to a stage where understanding human emotions and human beings is going to be the most important thing, because the robots are going to do everything way better than men can do. Men built the robots, they're coming. and they're going to do everything way more efficiently than men themselves. So now the new currency is actually caring and understanding people. And that's where women come in. So even though we're equal, of course, all of life, but there's going to be a lot of upsides to being a female entrepreneur, because that is going to be the most valuable resource. Understanding humans, emotions, caring. That's going to be the touch that's missing, because the AI or the technology that's coming is going to provide every masculine, dominant, like whether you need facts, whether you need information, whether it's going to be all there for you. You need something done, boom. But how do you actually start caring about life and humans? And that's where the femininity comes in. And that's going to be actually the most valuable current or currency on this planet very soon.
Ooh, I like that. And I see that Mama is very proud. And you're right, like emotional intelligence, it is well known that being a leader, to back up what you were saying, Michael, it's not about being a man or a woman, right? You are a good leader, you're a good leader, you're a bad leader, you're a bad leader. Either you are a man or a woman. But then when it comes to, specific traits that men portray and that women portray, emotional intelligence is definitely one that women carry on more predominantly. So when it comes now to AI and all this technology, and we know we have more and more conversation about emotional intelligence, the impact and the insights, and the difference, the level that women can bring to the conversation and to the technology is very important and cannot be ignored. Now, I'm going to be the devil advocate a little bit to spice it up. Because, of course I agree. I'm a strong woman advocate. I'm a woman. I do believe in women's rights, and in equality and equity for everyone. So of course I agree with everything that you do. And I know that you are strong, all of you women's advocates. Now, what do you think about this, the narrative where we say that now we see more and more families being broken because of the role of women within our society that has evolved, being women, being active, being at work, and not focusing only 100% of the time on their family. Don't get me wrong here. You can be a very independent woman, very active woman, very successful woman, and take very good care of your family. I see one here, I'm one of them, and I know plenty of them. But there is still this narrative where people believe that if families now are more and more broken, and we have reached a level of separation, divorce among family, the kids being splitted around, that is higher than ever before, putting the fault on women because they are no longer solely focused on the family. So Daniel, what's your opinion about that? You are muted, Daniel. We cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Thank you very much. My greetings to Mr. Stephen, long time, and my beloved sisters, Mr. Lana, Michael, and everybody on the platform. Peter, well presented, and Fikayo, God richly bless you. Okay, as a doctor, when you are approaching a situation, you speak as a medical person. As a mechanic, when a topic is given to you, you come from the angle as a mechanic. And so therefore, based on presentation, people's background, you see a lot of where they are coming from. Peter presented very powerful speech of the I, which I really highly respect. And if you see what they are saying, you must understand that you can never succeed in life without a solid foundation. If your foundation is right, the whole building is right. But when the foundation is wrong, the whole building is wrong. Artificial intelligence, as the robots, no matter how they are, it is a human being that programs them. So they cannot be greater than the one who programs it. Whatever he knows is what he puts on the software. So the robot will operate based on what you have given him. So the robot can never be advanced than the creator. Now let us look at the foundation here. Who created human being? Who created the woman? And who created the man? The fundamental basis of the creator knows the components that he puts in individual and its function. So when you have a car, the car function is to drive on the road. When you have a ship, the ship function is to be on the sea. You cannot bring a ship on the road. It will not function the way it's supposed to. What am I trying to say? Human being, male and female, are not equal. We should not lie to ourselves. If you look at the components, the breast, the organs, the brain's development is totally different from a man as a masculine. Number two, when you look at the Creator's foundation lead, he said he created a man. On his own image, he created them, male and female. He created them, blessed them, and said, multiply. Listen, in the garden, what happened as a pastor? In the garden, what happened? He has designed the garden, everything fashioned, and he put man there to have authority to name each of the beasts in the garden as a creator. Who is wiser than him? No one. And what happened? He saw that man is not functioning well. Why? Because man misses something. So what did he do? He put man to sleep and used only one rib of a man's organ to form a woman, and presented the woman before the man as a help meet, not mate. Meet, M-E-E-T. So woman was formed by God to be a help meet, a help partner to the man. So when a woman is coming aside with a man, the main objective of a woman is to come and help the man to fulfill God's agenda, which God has created and deposited in a man. Now, what do you have as a woman that you are bringing to help the man? This is where the institution of business and marketing things come in. When we talk about marriage and the two shall be one, marriage is an institution of God. And so if you see marriage as an institution, mostly the man is a CEO. Let's have the concept. The man is a CEO. The woman, as a helpmeet, is the managing director. And anything the managing director will do in the company, she needs instruction from the CEO. They work together. The CEO cannot do it without the manager. Now, in this case, women empowerment, which I support, I respect, I love it. As a president of the World Council of Prophetic Alliance, globally, the leaders, majority are women. Now, do you know one thing that I see? Women have the ability, they are smart. Women are smarter than men. And I tell you with experience, when a man and a woman is there, the surrounding, a woman can detect danger whilst the man can see. Women are very smart emotionally, and they are very intelligent and do a lot of things. That is why God saw that man cannot exist alone. He needed a woman to help. Now, women, what are you bringing on board to help the man? This is where it's most important. Women are allowed to have a solid education. Women are allowed to be well trained and acquire knowledge and skill, ability to function, because whatever you gain, you are going to synchronize by helping the man. So in this situation, if you're a woman, you don't have education, you don't have any potential, you don't have any knowledge, you don't have any skill, you just feel like giving baby. Yeah, babies giving, it is the woman is an incubator. Whatever you give the woman, she multiply and she give it out. If you give the woman a sperm, she multiply, she give you a child. If you give a woman a grocery, she multiply and give you food. If you give the woman a house, she turn it into a home. If you give a woman stubbornness or trouble, you know what you will get. So poverty, what I'm trying to say, woman is there to help a man to achieve. So a woman must be well educated. In business, commercial aspect, women have the right in being in a position of high positions. But there are upper weaknesses in their life because women are very emotional than men. God created them that way. And so when it comes to the feelings, It varies, but women fitting high position is good. And less for me to bring my work to the end. Don't forget an area of culture. Culture and traditions play a major role in women empowerment. The concept of women empowerment have no problem. It is good. But there are fundamental cultural practices that as a woman, if you find yourself in that role, be sure that you will face challenges. So the most important thing that we have to break the grounds is the culture and the traditions. But apart from that, God created a woman to be a helpmeet, to support the man to achieve greater things. And if the man achieve greater, it is not only the man, it is with the woman. Women need to be pampered. Women need to be loved. Let me tell you, if you acknowledge, appreciate, love a woman with care for the little she gives you, she will give you the whole world. But if you try to hinder her and you don't appreciate whatever she's doing, the reason why appreciation, women love it because they are there to help you. So if they are designed by God to help and you are not appreciating the help, they turn it somewhere else because they feel they are not needed. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. So it's a partnership, right? Let's put it that way. It is a partnership, right? And I would like to bring some comment from our audience. Thank you for like sharing your thought as well. Ahmed says both men and women are complementary and coming to the place of women in business, whether we like it or not. They are the engine for economic growth, and you're right. I strongly believe you're right. What do you think about it, Svetlana?
I have a lot to say right now. I love Daniel to pieces. I think that I own this world. Uh, I come from the position of equality. I don't see any difference between men and women on any stage, whether it's business, personal, professional, spirituality. I feel like I've gained a lot of masculinity through my experience, and I'm very grateful for that. The habits that I perform today daily, they're equal to any top-notch man performer in the world. I'm proud of that, and that's my humble opinion that we totally equal. And I honestly believe that the challenges that women went through in the last many centuries and decades, being number two, or being the slaves, or just being discriminated in a corporate world, being domestically violenced by men all over the world, even here in Canada. Won't shock people with statistics, even in Canada today. But that's what made us resilient women. That's what I believe today made us stronger than many men that today in the marketplace. We actually lead with tremendous amount of courage because those challenges that had to go through, including me, domestic violence, we go through that. You didn't go through that, most of you guys, but that's made us who we are. We are superiorly strong today, and watch out, gentlemen.
Thank you, Svetlana. And when it comes back to the partnership, uh, I agree that it is a partnership 100%, but I do believe also the woman can be in the CEO's seat while, the man also can help and provide the support that is necessary to build a successful life, no matter what success is to you, because every one of us, we have a different perspective and different definition of success. Another comment here from the audience who says, according to research, 87% of the top 500 companies last year, led by a female decision maker, reported above average profits compared to 78% of companies without female, right? So the numbers are there. And once again, I would say the key word here is really partnership, because it's not one against the other, it's one with the other, right? And at Immigrant Women in Business, let me put back the link here so you can scan the QR code and get all the information about the organization. That's really what we do. All the men that you are seeing here, and as you see, right, we have different perspectives, and that's okay. We are not here to be right and to tell people you are wrong. We are here to have those conversations, share what we believe in, share our different perspectives so we can contribute to improvement. And so at IWB, all the men that you see here, they are part of IWB. They are men allies. I want to say it. They are women advocates, in their respective industry, in everything that they do. And this is the people you want to surround yourself with. When it comes, I talk a lot about networking. I talk a lot about the people you hang out with can break you or make you. And this is true. If you are, no matter who you are, but today I'm going to address a woman particularly who is ambitious, who is driven. You have a lot of potential, but you feel stuck, or you feel you have reached a glass ceiling. You don't have to do it alone. That's very important. And you cannot do it alone. You have to surround yourself with people who will be able to provide you the emotional support that you need, the support that you need in terms of connection, in terms of opening, pushing those doors so you can climb the ladder, or you can reach the level of success and the level of leadership you are aiming for. And that's what we do at Immigrant Women in Business. That's why I'm one of the founding members since its inception, because let me share with you quite beautiful images that shows you the power of what we can achieve when we are together. We are definitely stronger together. When we host events, we see hundreds of women and men from all background, all religion, all whatever. We are so diverse. This is beautiful. And this is how we are all successful, right? Because we speak up and we have conversations on topics that matter so we can grow together. So, Sletana, I will leave you the last word before we wrap up, and I want to thank you, all of you, for watching the live, the replay, listening to the podcast episode. I want to thank also the standard guests here: Stephen, Michael, Fikayo, Daniel, Peter, also who is back with us. Your perspective is important. Your voice matters. As men and as men allies, as women's advocates, your voice matter. And I want to thank you for being part of my life and for all the great work that you do, also supporting other women. So, Zlitana, the last word is for you.
Gratitude to all the men who support women empowerment. Let's duplicate the effort with massive action. And we are excited to see you on March 8th, Toronto City Hall at 5 p.m.
Yes, so
Thank you.
scan the QR code. You will have all the information that you want, that you need to learn more about the organization and to join us at the event, because all of us here will be there, of course, and we will be happy to welcome you, to cheer you on. And, let's just come together. What do we say at IWB? We are stronger
Together.
Together.
Okay,
Oh,
let's do it
come on,
again.
guys.
We are
That's
Stronger
right.
together.
Together.
Thank you, Darine.
Okay, so thank you, everyone. You take care. You stay safe and you enjoy the weekend. Bye bye.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you, Darine.
Bye.
Bye.